Hey gang, starting to work on the last part of the swing gate area here. Finally got the number 2 3/4 inch screws that I needed, and this way I can screw down the M-track to the sub layer of the plywood. And so in this area here will be where one of the cuts will go. I'll show you more on the other side, but we're getting ready to work on that piece of rail so that it will become 2 pieces. And then at that point, when the swing gate closes, they'll be very close to each other, but obviously just separated enough so that there is no arcing on the power running through the tracks. Here is one of the tracks that will be cut on the one side of the swing gate. And first thing I did was I went and I cut off a small area of the center rail, so again that there will be no arcing or anything when this gets close to each other as the gate closes. There'll be power on both sides, but I've left a tiny little gap there, and just to make sure that the rail, since it's not supported on both sides anymore, doesn't flex, I put a little piece of it's just cardboard, thick cardboard paper, to make sure it's well insulated, and it's tacked on both sides with just some super glue. Again, it shouldn't go anywhere, but this is just to keep the rails honest. This is another piece for the swing gate, and I have again cut down on the continuity across the third rail here. Put a piece of cardboard paper as insulating agent here and glued it all together so it doesn't flex or move on me. I'll do this on the other side of the bridge as well, but slightly different setup over there, and I'll show you when we get to that. Hi gang, I wanted to show you the swing gate is now finished, at least as far as the operational part. So originally I had envisioned 2 peninsulas for the entire layout with this central section kind of a walk-in. But I quickly realized, as I said, that I wanted 2 loops, and the only way to fit that would be obviously with continuous outside loops. And so I could either duck under or just come up with a swing gate, which I did. I put the bridge on there. Obviously the swinging bridge is not going to be functional. Just a little too much for my amateurish capacity. But as far as the swing gate part of it, it just is what it looks like. Goes straight out, and then I can walk right into the, whatever you want to call that, the operational area. It's just a frame on a number of hinges back here. So I put 3 hinges. Figured that would probably be enough. I did not do a cross brace here, which I may do, but it doesn't seem to be sagging, and it weighs very little. It's very light. For the track, just went ahead and cut it. It's not very pretty, but it's functional. Just cut it here and over there. I made sure also to disconnect and remove the center rail so that there is no connection here. There's 2 feeder pieces of power, one for each section of the loop. Same thing over here. Here are the cuts for the where it's going to separate. And the third rail area has been removed just in this tiny area here, making sure that it doesn't short out or arc every time the door's open and closed. Got a little just bolt in here to keep the honest doors honest, and also One thing I did back here is I set a contact switch. This is so when you push on it, power goes through. When it comes off, power goes out. And so as this closes, get this little wood bit that will close it, and then you'll have power to the rails. The moment this opens, even a tiny bit, power is cut off. And obviously then you don't have the problem of maybe a locomotive plummeting to its death because the gate's slightly open, or you didn't realize they were running, or you know, whatever. So again, this is just a little contact switch. Comes from transformer through here back to the main power bus back there. I'll show you the operation of it here in a minute. There's a little more detail as to how the swing gate closes. Basically, you got a little rail here. So as soon as the frame touches this, it just rides right on it, makes it nice and tight, and then you got a stop, hard stop over here. So as the frame comes in, like I say, it just runs right into the rail, and it pushes itself up a little bit, nice and tight. On the other side, I've got my piece here that pushes on the on-off button, the safety button. And then the only difference here is obviously because of the swing gate side is, this is the hinge side, it rotates away from the hinge, and so I had to cut this area to shape, and one of the rails had to be cut at an angle to clear this little area here, as basically as this comes by. The other one, I didn't even have to cut it. I just took out the connections, and I just happened to have, I made it in a way that this is where normally the sections would have come together. So pretty straightforward. Again, it comes in pretty easy, and then as it hits that little section here, it just runs right in, gets locked in. Obviously, on this side there had to be a slight angle for the cut, just enough. You might not be able to tell, but it's just a few degrees, just enough to clear nicely right off the bat. Otherwise, there would have been a time, if this wasn't cut at an angle, if it was straight, this would have rubbed as it was opening. So that's about it. Show you the operation of it here in just a minute. So here's the swing gate operational, and you have a train running over there, albeit very slowly, but you can see the locomotive moving. And all I have to do is just pull the bolt out of the gate, and that by itself is enough to stop the train track power. So pretty convenient. And if I put the bolt back on, then we have power once again. So I'm pretty happy with the way this came out. It really wasn't all that difficult, thanks to several YouTube videos. I know Peter Lloyd has a very nice YouTube video on a swing gate that he made for a client, and I've got his channel in my main page. So that's about it for the swing gate. Obviously this will be a nice little channel. This will be sea level. I'm going to have a couple of channel markers each side, and then on both sides of the bridge as part of the access to the bay back there. So thanks for watching, you guys, and catch you on the next one.